Hello everyone and welcome back to Pam is in the Garden. Hi, I'm Pam. In today's video, I'm going to go over a couple of things that contains to container gardening. I know you've been through the nurseries and the garden centers and you've seen a vast array of containers. You've probably seen terracotta, you've probably seen plastic, you've probably seen wooden, metal, fabric, and you just don't know which one to use. Well, today I'm going to break those down to you. I promise you I'll try not to make this video long, but there's a couple of things we need to go over so you can make the right choice for your container gardening. Like I said, they come in different materials, and it really depends on what you're trying to grow in a container. What I look for in choosing the right container is the size of it, and that comes into what I'm trying to grow, what type of material the container is made out of, water retention, how much water can it hold, does it have drainage, root development. Does this container allow this certain vegetable have the root development that it needs to thrive and for me to yield my vegetables from this plant? And last but not least, storage. Okay, that's key. Storage. Okay, so let's go over the different types of, far as material wise, of containers. Now, mostly common is the plastic containers. You've probably seen these in different nurseries and in the hardware stores, garden centers. Plastic is durable. They come in different sizes and some come in different colors. They are on the inexpensive size. Far as price wise, I've seen some, it depends on the size of the container that makes the difference in the price. Okay, so with plastic, it tends to hold a little heat, it tends to dry out a little bit, and sometimes you can't find any with drainage holes. You have to make your own drainage holes. But nevertheless, I still use these. I just use them for different uses. Like this one right here will basically use for my annual flowers that I buy during the summer. This one I will put, well, of course I will clean it up, but I will put annual flowers in here and set them on my patio tables or just out and about. You can also use these for this size for your herbs or something like that. If you're only growing like some herbs or some annual flowers, this would probably be ideal if that's the route you're going to go, because those type of flowers don't have long roots. Their roots are pretty much shallow. It depends on if you trying to seed or something like that. But plastic is a good buy. They come in different sizes and different colors. It depends on what price and size you need. Now, there is, I don't have a terracotta. We're just going to pretend this is a terracotta. I have them, but I just couldn't find them at the time. But terracotta is very good as well. The benefits for terracotta pottery are that they are self-wicking. So they hold a little bit moisture than a plastic one. Okay. They can be expensive depending on the size, but it doesn't really matter. Terracotta can be very expensive. Also, with terracotta and plastics, that the root development will only be limited. It won't have, the roots won't sprawl out and spread out so it can grow strong stalks and fruits and vegetables. You also, they are very, very breakable. You have to be careful with terracottas. And at the end of the growing season, unless you're taking your plants inside, at the end of the growing season, you will have to wrap and storage these somewhere where they can't break. So it's kind of a win-win, you know. And then that it's kind of, well, I wouldn't say a win-win, but like I said, terracotta is good. It's good. I use a couple of them myself, but they're more smaller than that. But it's your garden. You can use what you want to use. I'm just giving you some choices. That's all. Now glazed terracotta, which is this one, it is very expensive because they done glazed over it. That's a little bit more work, and a little bit more work costs a little bit more money. But they come in various colors, various patterns. This one I got, someone gave me some flowers and the pot came with it. Unfortunately, it doesn't have any drainage holes. That's the only thing. So I have to put something else in there to hold whatever I'm holding that has drainage holes. But I can also put a little water down in there so it can have a little something. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful color. And I'm thinking about going with this color for my color theme this year in my garden. But like I said, they come in very different sizes. They come in different colors and pattern, but by it being glazed over terracotta, the price goes up. So, but like I said, it's your garden. You could do what you want to do. I'm just suggestions. Okay. And then also, we have the fabric grow bags, which is ever popular, which I have a bunch of these. I use all of those, but if I had to start off with this, I think my whole garden would consist of just fabric. They're durable. They are strong. The materials are usually recyclable. They have handles on them, so they're very portable. Very portable. I can move one from here to the other side. Depending on what I'm growing and it's too hot, I can just pick it up and put it in some shade for a little while for a little relief. The material is very breathable, like I said, and it is very drainable. That means when I water it, the plant won't hold water down here. The soil is self-watering. The watering just comes out. Also, the root development on these. When these air out a little bit after watering stuff, the roots sprawl out. So when they touch the edge of these with the air, it just burns off. So it's self-pruning. That's what I wanted to say. Self-pruning. So when the when the roots sprawl out and they go up against the fabric and the air touches them, it just self-prunes them. It doesn't allow the root bound or root coil to go around, and that's most of the times where plants struggle because the roots have nowhere to go. They're just going around and around, and eventually they start choking each other. They don't have no air. Well, with fabric bags, you can do that, and I love them. They come in different sizes and colors, but these are awesome. Matter of fact, let's see. Let's start off. I'm going to show you a couple of my fabric bags. Okay, let's start with the smaller one. So this one is about a 5-gallon. This is a 5-gallon bag. In a 5-gallon bag, you can do some spinach. You could do some herbs. You could do some bunching onions. You could do, what else? I got a bunch of stuff I've written down here. Oh, yeah. You can do some radishes. You could do, what else? Some plants or your annuals in here. This is a nice size to do small planting in here, because all those that I just named don't have a root development that goes down, but they will grow, you know. So this is the 5-gallon. Okay. And that is a pretty purple. That is purple. Matter of fact, I've got a lot of purple vegetables that I have started, so I might just stick with purple with the... Okay. And then this one here is a 10-gallon. I did a little video on this. I got some that I've had for about 5 years, and them bad boys still going strong, you know. But this is a 10-gallon. 10-gallon, you could put a pepper in here. You could put a nice patio tomato plant in here. You can do, what else? Oh, I planted some garlic, some spring garlic in one of these, this size 10. Right now, currently, I have on my small patio, I have some mustards and turnips in here, which, like I said, those don't have long roots in them. But this is excellent, and that is a pretty navy blue. Have the handles, breathable, you know. Okay, that was the 10-gallon. So now we got a 20-gallon. Now this boy can hold something. It can. It can hold, you can do some broccoli in here. Now something that stature, you can only do one. Broccoli, because broccoli get real big, but its roots is deep, so you can only do one plant broccoli in here. What else? You could do a pepper, a nice pepper, a bushy bell pepper, sweet peppers, hot pepper, something that is going to bear heavy fruit. So this would be the container for it, because it has the deep inside for great root development. It has nice wide, so I would say this is about 12 inches in diameter right here. So even with that, the slightly larger plant, you can still pick it up with the handles, and the handles is stitch on. That's what you should look for, not just paste on. You want them stitched on. That's what I look for in my grow bags. And that is the 12-gallon. No, not the 12-gallon. 10-gallon. No, 20. I'm sorry. I'm getting them mixed up. Hold on. 5, 10, 20. Okay, because I can go back and look at it just in case if I get mixed up again. I'm tired, y'all. I had a long weekend. Now, this big boy, this is a 30-gallon. I don't know if I can get it in focus. I'm going to have to smash it. This is a 30-gallon. This bad boy can hold a big beefsteak tomato plant in here. You could put I've done string beans, pole beans, that I put a tomato cage in there, and I had like 8 plants of pole beans, to the point they grew so big. They grew so tall and so bushy and everything that I had to add other sticks. But this held something. I put a squash. I've put zucchini in here. And those are large plants that would go in here, because they need that room to grow. They need this type of room to grow. Like here. That's a lot. So this would take up a nice a lot of soil in here. But the great thing about it is that once you put soil in here, the right medium, the right mix in here, you don't have to do anything else. I've done like every 2 years change out all the soil. When I go back and use it next year, I will take half of it out, you know, put a little fertilizer back in there, some compost, put the other half, put first half on there and just let it do what it do. And then the following year, the third year, I will empty it all out. Okay. So these are, as I said, these are my favorite containers to use. Now, I'm going to have to tell you the downside of these, even though they're my favorite, but I mean, okay. They tend to dry out a little bit faster than your plastic or your terracottas containers. And the reason why is because when you do water them, the water runs out, which makes it's a double-edged sword. It holds moisture, but yet it doesn't. It holds moisture for a short period of time, and then you have to come back and re-water it. And then also they tend to get a little dirty. They tend to, if you don't watch it, you can have moss, and it's kind of hard to keep the outside clean, you know, but it's a garden, so, you know. But normally, depending on what I'm doing with them at the end of the gardening season, some of them, most likely the ones that I use, the 5 and the 10-gallon pots, I usually empty that dirt out, and I, you know, hand clean them in a bucket outside. And once I get a majority of the soil out, then I'll throw them in the washer. And when I'm done with the washer, let them air dry, and I just fold them back up and store them. This is what I mean by storage. Yeah. Just fold them back up, and they last a long time. Now, usually what I've been doing, the large ones, I keep the dirt in there, and I have a little, it looks like a tent, a camping tent, but it's not as really narrow. And I put the larger ones stacked on top of each other and just cover them for them. It's like a tarp kind of container. I'll show you. But even with the soil in there, I can just stack them on each other, and they keep, no problem. I don't have any, haven't had any problems. So let's go over a couple of things that we talked about. We talked about the size meaning that what are you trying to grow. In your 5 to 10 gallon pots, you're going to grow maybe some herbs or some radishes or some bok choy or some small patio tomatoes. You're going to look for smaller things in this size. Now, in your 10 gallon, you can move it on up. You could do 1 broccoli. You could do 1 cabbage. You can even do a bush type of cucumbers, you know. But, you know, depending on the varieties, they mean bush, but yes, depending on what, you know, what type of variety of a bush. There's several of them. But you can't do that in this size. This is a 10 gallon. And then this is I have a 20 gallon, but then I moved over there. But the 20 gallons and up in a grow bag, you're going to grow large vegetables like your tomatoes, your zucchinis, your squash, you know, your more indeterminate cucumbers that vine up. You can grow peas in here. You can grow kale in here. You can grow collard greens in here. You can do a lot in this size grow bag, you know. And like I said, it stores well. This is what I normally keep my dirt in over the winter time. I just stack them on top of each other, and that's it. That's all. So and one more thing, they're very reasonable. So I got this online on Amazon. I think it was a pack of 10 or pack of 7 or something like that. Wait a minute. 10. I got 2 of these two of this size, two of this one, and two of the green ones for like less than $15. I think that I bought that on Prime Day or something. But even after Prime Day, depending on who the vendor is, you can really find some. You can also find them at your box stores like Lowe's or Home Depot and like that. You can find them as well. So let's recap on the type of material. That's what you're going to be looking for. What are you growing? How do you want to do it? Do you want to use plastic? Do you want to go the terracotta route? Do you want to go glazed terracotta? Do you want to go through wooden containers? I've used them. I don't particularly, me personally, I don't particularly care for them because after a while, after watering constantly, the wood breaks down and you know things go amok. So, but some people do, you know, that's your preference. There's also metal like your galvanized containers. Now I have galvanized raised beds out there. um I don't know. I haven't had any problems as far as overheating, but maybe it's because it doesn't hold the heat because it has a open bottom. Even though it's raised up, it has an open bottom under it, so it's not really holding heat. The only time places that I can see that it's holding heat is around the side of it, not in the middle. You know, water does drain. So, but metal, what else we got? The fabric bags and things like that. So there are different type of materials you could choose from. It's just what you really trying to achieve with your vegetables. Also, water retention. Is it going to hold water? How much water? How often do I have to water with this particular container? Like with your terracotta. Terracotta can breathe. It wicks water. It wicks water out. So that's the one benefit about that. With plastic, it heats up. It doesn't allow air to go through there. It's not breathable. Some, depending on what type of plastic container, some come with holes, some don't. So, you know, it's really your preference. You know, it's a little bit cheaper than your terracotta or your galvanized or something like that. So those are different types of materials that you can look for and decide what you want. Also, with the water retention is metal. You have to poke holes into galvanize, but it holds heat. So depending on what you are planting in there, you herbs really can't take that type of heat. So if you're growing herbs in there, you kind of want to put them like in a partial sun area in your garden that probably get 4 hours of sun and the rest of it shade, so the galvanized doesn't get, it'll cool off during the rest of the day, but you don't want it full blast on sun. Okay. Root development. We also, when looking into our containers, we want to make sure that we have root development. Now, like I explained before, with plants in a pot, plastic pot, metal pot, root pot is something, if it's just, it doesn't have, the roots have nowhere to spread out to, because that's what roots do, they spread out. Trees, you hear people will just say the tree roots is coming into my house. Yeah, because it's spreading out, it's spreading them roots out. And but with pots like this is plastic, it has nowhere to spread. So all it does is circle and circle and circle until eventually it starts to get root bound. The roots are choking themselves and it doesn't get the proper nutrients and it doesn't really give you a good yield on your plant. And also, like I said, storage. We went over storage. I'm gonna go over it again. And these are easy to store. I love these. I swear I do. I love these. With these are easy to store, you know, you might get a 2-3 year run on some plastic. Just empty them out, clean them out, and put them up. But after a while, being exposed to the sun, I find that these break after a while. It's the sun beating down on them. So I'm not too worried about this one, because this one will be on my patio, and both of my patios are covered in shade. So this is going to last me maybe a little bit longer than 2 years. Okay, I think that's enough. I think that's enough. I think I covered everything as far as the material, the sizes, the water retention, the storage and root development, different types of material containers. I think we went over what would you like to grow, you know, what are your preferences, and the correct container for the vegetable you're trying to grow. So anyway, so if you like this video, and if it showed you value, and if it gave you some insight on how to go choose the right container, hit that subscribe button and give me that thumbs up. I need some thumbs. I got some subscribers, and I want y'all to subscribe and thumbs up. Not down, up. But if you put it down, God bless you, and you have a great day. Come on, y'all. Let's grow something.